Hi guys, you are watching Etcetera with me, Est. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Okay, today I'm going to be reviewing Love Island Week 3. Love Island Season 6, Week 3. Do you know, I was looking back at my old reviews and I felt like I was a bit quiet in my reviews. I don't know what it is. In the last couple of reviews, I've just been a bit, I need to I need to kind of be more vibrant. I think it was kind of because the last couple of weeks weren't that great anyway. So anyway, let's get into it. So this week has been a bit, I wouldn't say boring because a lot of stuff has happened, but you know, ITV2, there's been times where, you know, we started the episode from the night before. Half an hour of the episode is the night before. You know, like a continuation, and it's not even like half of it you can cut out, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's these contestants are a bit dry or there's not that much content and you have to kind of spread it out. And anyway, let's move into it. As I did last time, I'm going to go through the couples and I'm going to talk about their journey to get to where they are today. Start off with the couple I care about the least, Rebecca and Wallace. Wallace came in as one of the bombshells a couple of nights ago. He is fine. Wallace is fine. I mean, if I wanted like a nice Caucasian man, Wallace would be one of those people. And then he's coupled up with Rebecca. Do you know what? I was here for Rebecca last week because I was like, you know what? This is what the show's about. You're supposed to come in, get what you want, but she's turned into a little sourpuss. A big sourpuss even. I mean, today's episode, you know, Wallace made us some breakfast, made us some avocado with some egg, and she doesn't like avocado, fair enough. Not everyone likes avocado, but the way she did it, said that she didn't like it, was so rude. Like, oh, I don't like avocado. Oh, no, I don't like avocado. Don't need to be rude. Just be like, you know what, I don't really like avocado, but thank you for the effort or something like that. It's the way you say stuff, babe. And I just think she's in a bit of a huff, to be fair, because she wanted to be with Luke T. Luke T ultimately picked Shanice, and she's just wallowing in the villa like she didn't expect it to go that way, I think. Moving on swiftly to Shanice and Luke T. Luke T's voice is so grating on my ears. It's a joke. I don't know. I like my men with deep voices, you know. So I know that throat is working. So I know that Adam's apple was there. His voice is higher than mine, and he talks so slow. And Shanice, she's had an interesting week. After last week, which was a bit of a shambles, Luke T, she was getting to know Luke T. Rebecca coupled up with him at the random recoupling, which pissed Shanice off, and ultimately she grafted. I don't know how our baby girl did it, but she did it, and Luke T liked her. I mean, to be fair, as much as Shanice is miserable guts as well, she at least has a bit more personality than Rebecca. Rebecca just comes off as sourpuss. Moving on to Paige and Finn. They've had a bit of a weird week as well, because there was a day that Paige just decided to be mad. Like she turned on Finn. Like she was upset that he didn't sit next to her when the new boys came in, and then Wallace and what's that girl's name? Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the girl Naz is with. The redhead, let me just call her redhead. They came in and she was like freaking out when they were on a Finn and her on a date. It was just a bit weird. Paige seems to be a self-saboteur. Like when I say self-saboteur, I mean in the sense of, you know, when you're start dating this guy and another guy comes along, but you don't want to tell the first guy, oh, you know what, there's another guy I kind of fancy, or, you know, I might be open to the other guy. Instead of you saying that, she will create an argument to give her a reason to explore other options. That's the vibe I get from Paige. From Callum and Shauna, I don't see it. I don't see it for them. I don't see it for them at all. Shauna, as I said last time, she's a bit of a bunny boiler, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. And Callum is dim as fuck. So she wears the trousers, he lets her, but then he's like resenting her. It's just so weird because I just feel when Casa Moore comes or whatever, he is going to be running. Shauna's is getting on my nerves sometimes, the way she spoke to Sophie, even though I feel like what she was saying was true. Sophie, baby, she's gone. She's like the moral compass. And the baby girl, just focus on yourself because your man is running away. If you didn't know, I'm going to tell you now. Moving on to Jess and Luke M. Luke M is just there. Let's just be real. I don't know what else I can say. He's just there. He's a handsome guy. He looks like Justin Bieber, so he's a cutie. But you're competing on borrowed times, to be honest. I feel like in the next recoupling or not recoupling or whatever it is they're gonna do, I feel like he's gonna go at some point because anyway, he's coupled up with Jess, and Jess is in a bit of a predicament right now because Mike is now basically single and he is grafting her hard. So let me kind of rewind back. So a couple of days ago, they had this random recoupling, and Mike basically picked Leanne to go home and Sophie to stay. So obviously him and Sophie are in this friendship couple, and he's decided the easiest thing to do is to go to Jess. Like, he kind of tried to go with Sophie. Sophie was like, I don't think so. So he went with Jess, and he knows that Jess likes him. Jess obviously picked him when she first came into the house, and then, you know, he decided to pick Leanne. But, you know, Jess has said it, her sister said it as well. Mike is her type. She likes black men, I would assume. That pisses off Luke M. And Luke M has like pulled Mike to the side like twice now, kind of saying, I don't really understand what you're doing. And Mike is kind of, you know, it's actually funny to watch. And then Jess will be like, oh no, I've told him, like, you know, I'm focusing on you and all that stuff. But her behaviour will contradict that because she'll hang out with Mike in the villa during the day. And when they were kind of picking who was a couple that had the most compatibility, and they were judging, I guess, the weakest couple was Mike and Sophie's relationship came up, and Jess was championing she was championing Mike to stay. Mike and Sophie. Mike and Sophie have had very interesting weeks the last 7 days. Obviously Sophie was with Connor. I'm not going to say anything about his teeth, but Connor, and they had to basically, I mean, I think they got the lowest votes as a couple, and only one of them got to stay, and the islanders had to pick which one out of Sophie and Connor to stay, and they picked Sophie to stay. Connor went home. Sophie did not follow. You know, and that's why Shauna and Sophie had that disagreement, because Shauna was like, well, if you liked him, why are you still here? Kind of thing. Why are you lobbying Naz's girl, Naz, to pick you to stay? If you like Connor, like, you should have gone with Connor. Like, obviously you don't like him that much. I feel Sophie likes Connor in a way, but obviously him not being there, she's not stupid. She doesn't want to leave such a great opportunity. And I don't even think it's about even staying for being in a couple, to be honest. I think they know, you know, at least let's get to Casa or at least get to like halfway, 3/4 of the way. So even if I go, I've got my like at least 50,000 followers on Twitter. I've got my brand deals in the works or what. Do you know what I mean? That she's not stupid. And Mike, he was with Leanne. Leanne was starting to get repulsed by him. As I said in the last video, it's probably because he started pussy popping in that in that striptease challenge. And yeah, do you know what? Leanne is well within her right to not want to be in a couple with Mike anymore. I just think she should have delivered the message in a better way. Because I honestly feel if she had been like, do you know what? I don't really think this is working out. And I think if she did it a little bit earlier as well, like maybe a day or two, like when, remember there was a time when he kind of thought she wasn't feeling it. They had a conversation and she was like, oh, I need to take my time, da da da. She knew at that point that she wasn't feeling him and she was forcing herself to do something she didn't want to do, basically. And I just feel if she had said something then and been like, you know what, I'm not really feeling it, I'm seeing you more as a friend, or blah blah blah, or you're not really the type of guy I go and I've tried, and that, you know, if you said it nice like that, I think Mike would have let her stay and both of them could separately find other people. I honestly think that. And then she started blowing up by him talking to Jess, and she just became very nasty. And I don't even know. I just feel like she didn't really think it through. And obviously, she didn't know that they were going to do this surprise recoupling. So obviously, she thought she might have had a couple of days for someone to come in so she can kind of graft with. But obviously, the producers saw that people were dragging her for filth and thought, you know what, girl, you need to get out. you need to get out. Because Mike is a popular guy. And maybe she doesn't realize Mike is popular outside. So the producers are going to keep him in, and if you don't want to be with him, they might not have other people for you coming in. They're going to get rid of you. So I feel like she fumbled in that sense. I don't feel like she should have stayed with Mike to the end just to win. If she's not feeling something, she's not feeling something. But I feel like she should have kind of thought about it a little bit more, because this is a reality show. She was really shocked that Mike decided to pick Sophie. And I'm really confused because what did you expect? As I said, if it was an amicable split, and I mean, like, obviously there was no beef or nothing like that, but she wasn't that nice to him, like, towards the end. I think she was that sickened and repulsed that every time he came next to her or tried to talk to her, she just wasn't really having it. Or she was very, very short with him. And why would he want to keep, if he has the power to send you home, go send you home, girl. And last but not least, we have Naz. Unfortunately, I have forgotten that girl's name. Demi. Her name is Demi. Naz and Demi. Very cute. Two short people, just, so cute. I'm happy for Naz. Naz is kind of, that little annoying brother kind of character in the villa. Very funny, vibrant. He gets on with everyone, and for them to send in someone that we think fancies him is cute. And I think at first she probably just thought he's the safest person to couple up with because he's single and I'm short, he's short, all that stuff. But I actually think she's kind of warmed him because, he made her breakfast. Yeah, and that's all the couples, I think. They had to pick who they thought was least compatible. And the 4 couples that are up or potentially up for the chopping block are Mike and Sophie, obviously, because they're not in a romantic relationship. Wallace and Rebecca, obviously. Jess and Lukem, and Shanice and Luke T. I voted to keep Mike and Sophie in because we have to keep the blacks in. I'm sorry, I have to keep the blacks in. Yeah, and plus I feel like Casa Amor must be next week because they kind of showed it. Casa Amor's next week. They're going to put in some good-looking people on each side. And I think Mike is entertaining. He needs to stay in. Sophie is obviously going to stay in and find probably the love of her life. And Connor's going to be at home biting wood. So let's not going to talk about this boy Steve. So that is Love Island right now. Week 3 was, it had its moments, but in terms of like the whole episodes on the whole, it's like an hour of an episode with like 15 minutes worth of the real content, and it starts to piss me off now, to be honest with you. And can I just say something? It's really important to me. I have watched Love Island from the beginning, season 1. I even watched Celebrity Love Island all those years back, yeah. I am a fan. You need to be putting some more slags in there, or some people that are down to fuck. Because I understand that the show has changed, it's evolved, you've cleaned it up a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We are in week 3. No one has been fingered. No one has... Not even a finger. No one's been fingered. No one has a titty suck. None of that. In season 1, listen, at least 4 of them had sex at that point. Season 2, all of them were shagging each other. I'm not even saying that should be a shag fest or an orgy going on. But come on. Is this as if they've told them do not have sex? Only time you can possibly have sex is when you're in the hideaway. And you've only given one couple hideaway. I even forgot about that. Paige and Finn. I bet he didn't even finger her. Like, what's the point of going to hideaway if you're not at least gonna get fingered? Like, I don't know if it's because I am now, in my late 20s that, I need a bit more roughness. But this is just all a bit too PG for me. I just feel like if you are going on the show, you're in a romantic relationship, you're sleeping in the same bed as each other every night, and the only thing you two are doing is kissing? Really? But yeah. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week for the review. And also on Monday, I'll see you for Real Housewives. Real Housewives wasn't on last week because the Grammys were on. Yeah, and to be honest, I wouldn't have even been in the mood because that was the same day that Kobe died as well. And that whole couple of days was just a bit weird. I was not in the mood to record. So I will see you guys in a couple of days for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bye.